Hi BookTube, Sarah here and welcome to my channel. Today I am coming to you with my November 2020 TBR. Say it with me everybody, it's TBR time! Yay! Oh, I love these videos every month. I really love these videos every month. So, I actually decided to tone things down a bit. I was like, tone it down a bit, Sarah, when I looked at last month's TBR. So, I have about 24, I think, 24 books that I want to share with you guys here. 24, 25. That's still a lot. For most people, that's a lot. I am on track as of filming this right now to finish 32 books in October. But what I've decided to do is I'm only going to focus on the challenges for this video. I'm just going to share with you guys the books that I have picked for the specific challenges for November. And I do have a backup list of a bunch of books. So when I get those books done, then I can kind of cherry pick from the extras list. And as I was calling it, I think the Just Because list in months past. Because what was happening was I was jumping ahead just picking those ones. And then now I'm kind of rushing to get the other ones finished that I want to finish. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, that's my game plan. So I'm not going to share all the books. Like, I'm not going to share those Just Because or extra books with you guys. You'll see them as they pop up when I'm, going through my reading over the month of November. But like I said, I want to share, of course, with you guys my challenge books. So I am participating in two kind of major things going on. The first one is the last month of the Fall Into Reading Challenge, hosted by Tia, Rainey, Angie, and Kelly. And of course, Nonfiction November, hosted by the amazing Olive over to Book Olive. So I do have 3 nonfiction books that I'm reading, but I didn't pick anything specific for the challenges. So anyway, I will explain as I get to them. So the first challenge here, because like I said, these are, so Fall Into Reading Challenge, slow it down, Sarah. Fall Into Reading Challenge, as I said, hosted by those 4 lovely ladies. Essentially, she had 2 cards, and I'll pop a picture of the card that I picked up here. And it's 2 cards, and one of them has 15 prompts, the other one has 24 prompts. I went with the one that has 24 prompts. And for September, October, and November, I did 8 books a month. So these are now my final 8 books that I need to read for this challenge to complete it, and I'm super excited. So we got, for YA, because there are different prompts, for YA, I'm going to be reading Pretty in Punxsutawney by Laurie Boyle Compton. Karen over at Rather Be Reading mentioned this book a couple years ago, that she put it on her want to read list, and it's a YA kind of retelling of Groundhog's Day, and I'm intrigued. So I will be reading it, and I'm very much looking forward to it. The next prompt is Orange, Yellow, or Gold on the Cover, and I will actually be reading, but I'll be reading this one in audio format, is a historical fiction novel called The Glass Ocean by Beatrice Williams, Lauren Willing, and Karen White. So yeah, I say that's a lot of orangey, yellow, gold. Gold is orange plus yellow, is it not? It counts. I'm making it count. It says, from the New York Times bestselling authors of The Forgotten Room comes a captivating historical mystery that links the lives of 3 women, 2 from the past, 1 from the present, to the doomed passenger liner RMS Lusitania. I'm so excited about this one. It sounds so good. So yeah, I think this one's going to be fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to picking that one up. Next up, Beloved Author. We have another physical copy here. So I just kind of looked to see what I had next to read by Jill Shalvis and thought, okay, let's read this one. And we have Hot Winter Nights by Jill Shalvis. This is book number 6 in the Heartbreaker Bay series. One of the ones that I'm missing, I think I jumped ahead a couple of books, so this will fill in the gap for me. And then I think I'll be caught up to current on the Heartbreaker Bay. But this one, does it have it? Oh, it does too. There's a step back. That's pretty awesome. You don't typically see that in contemporary romance. So yeah, it's a holiday themed romance, Christmas tree. Sounds really good. I cannot wait to read this one. For nonfiction, I did save my nonfiction prompt for November. And this is one of the nonfiction picks, and I do have 2 others that I'm going to be talking about very, very soon. So the one that I picked for this challenge, though, is The Girls Who Went Away, The Hidden History of Women Who Surrendered Children Up for Adoption. Okay, hold on. Let me say that again. The Girls Who Went Away, The Hidden History of Women Who Surrendered Children for Adoption in the Decades Before Roe v. Wade by Anne Fesser. I am very much looking forward to this one. I think this topic is very, very interesting. No matter what side of the abortion line you might be on, and I'm not here to debate that at all. But I think that this is very, very interesting. I personally believe it's a woman's right to choose. And I am very interested in this because you hear stories and you read a lot of historical fiction about women who had to make that decision. And really they had no choice because being a single mom back in the 50s or 60s or whenever it was just not a thing. You didn't, unless your spouse passed away, but to give birth to a child alone. So I'm very, very interested in this topic. I saw this book come up, I think as a daily deal on the Kindle, and I decided to get a copy of it, and I am very much looking forward to reading it. Next we have science fiction. And science fiction is not something I generally read, but I actually found something that I might very well be interested in. And that is The AI Who Loved Me by Alyssa Cole. This is a very short, I think it comes in at 5 hours on audio. It's an Audible Escape, not an Audible Escape. It's on the Audible Plus catalog. And like I said, a short little 5 hour long romance about a woman and an artificial intelligence robot of sorts. But it's labeled as a science fiction, so I'm counting it. Next, for romance, I could have virtually picked pretty much anything. But I decided to go with another old favorite of mine, and that's Kristen Higgins. And I'll be reading Waiting on You by Kristen Higgins. This is book number 3 in the Blue Heron series. I'm doing a reread of this series, and I am up to book 3. Here we go. We're going to read it. It's Colleen's story. I'm looking forward to it. The next one, middle grade. So what I did not, all these books I picked back when the challenge was first announced. And I've just been kind of cherry picking through them each month to which books I'm going to read for each of those months. But the middle grade one I always kept blank because I knew I was going to read a Babysitter's Club book for that one. But I didn't know where I'd be in the series when that time came. So I happen to be at a super special, so that's really exciting. So I will be reading Snowbound by Ann M. Martin, which is the Babysitter's Club super special number 7. Exactly as it sounds. A massive snowstorm hits Stony Brook, Connecticut, and it's what happens to all the girls and their babysitting charges during the snowstorm. I do really enjoy this one. It was a lot of fun. I mean, all of these are rereads for me. All the Babysitter's Club books are rereads for me. But I think that this one is going to be really, really fun. And then the last one we have sequels. So I went through my list of series that I'm reading through, and I found one that I needed to read book number 2 for. And the first one that came up is a book called Something to Talk About by Dakota Cassidy. This is book number 2 in the Plum Orchard series. This is a contemporary romance series about a group of women who run a sex phone business. They're sex phone operators, essentially. And yeah, it's very, very spicy. It's a lot of fun. It's really, really enjoyable. So I am very much looking forward to reading this one. My next little group of books here that I have, excuse me, sorry, coffee time, is NetGalley for the holidays, as I'm calling it. And it's just to read some of the massive amount of books that I have from NetGalley that are holiday themed. So I did decide to pick 5. And those 5 are The Last Christmas Cowboy by Maisie Yates. I cannot wait to read this one. It is book number 11 in the Gold Valley series. Yay, another one in the Gold Valley series. The next one is Miracle Creek Christmas by Kristen Jensen. I am not at all familiar with this author, but it looks super cute. Probably going to be a lot of fun. Next we have the most charming title, Christmas on Reindeer Road by Debbie Mason. This is book number 2 in the Highland Falls series. Looks adorable. I just love the Christmas books. For something fun, a Christmas cozy mystery, we have Ginger Dead Man by Maya Corrigan. This is book number 7 in a 5-ingredient mystery series. So I've not read any others in this series, but I'm going to jump in at book 7. The title. They're brilliant. And the last one for the NetGalley for the holidays is An Amish Christmas Wedding by Amy Clapton. This, I believe, is an anthology with a few other authors. I didn't write down the other authors' names, if it is the anthology that I'm thinking. But yeah, Amish Christmas romance. Very sweet, very cute. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. I've read this author before, and I do like her work. The next little section here that we have is the TBR Tackle. So that is it's a challenge hosted by the Nothing But Reading Challenges group on Goodreads. And you challenge yourself to a number of books every month off of your TBR. So you randomize your TBR and just pick some books. I'm going with 4 every month, but because I'm trying to get through a lot of the Christmas books from NetGalley, I picked 4 of them from my NetGalley list. So these are more holiday-themed romances or holiday-themed books from my NetGalley list. So we have Christmas at Carly's Cupcakes by Jessica Redland. This is book number 6 in the Wittensboro Bay series. I believe this is more of a chick lit UK romance. So yeah, it looks really, really cute. A Surprise Christmas Wedding by Philippa Ashley. This one looks really cute as well. It just sounds delightful. We have A Princess by Christmas by Julia London. This is book number 3 in a royal wedding series. It is a historical romance novel. Takes place at Christmas. I do love that. Cannot wait. And another historical romance Christmas book, A Mistletoe Vow for Lord Lovell by Joanna Johnson. This is a Harlequin historical romance, and it looks super duper cute, and I'm very much looking forward to this one as well. The next little grouping here we have is, of course, Nonfiction November. So like I said, I picked 2 other books to read for Nonfiction November. And like I said, I'm also not participating in the challenges. I know that Olive put out some challenges for this. It's just basically one-word prompts. I was going to do that, but then I thought I really had a lot of NetGalley stuff I wanted to get through. But I did want to read some nonfiction because I always try and participate in Nonfiction November because I want to support Olive, and she's the one who got me reading nonfiction. I think a lot of us on BookTube can probably say the same thing, that she was the reason that, you know, a lot of us started reading nonfiction. So the 2 books that I picked, the first one I got very recently. It came up on a subscription, not a subscription service, an audiobook service that I use called Chirp. And essentially you get emails every day of all the books on sale. And I mean, these audiobooks are on sale for $1.99, $2.99. Very, very affordable. A lot of the times they don't have stuff, but about once a week or once every other week, I actually find an audiobook that looks good to me. And this first one was one of them from a few weeks ago. So I decided to read it for Nonfiction November because it's more of a true crime. So I think this one's going to be a lot of fun, and it's Murder in the Bayou: Who Killed the Women Known as the Jeff Davis 8 by Ethan Brown. So like I said, it is a true crime novel about a serial killer. Not my usual forte, but I am very interested, and I think this one's going to be really interesting. And the other one is a book that I've had on my physical shelves for a long, long time, like years. Well back from the beginning of BookTube, I think. And I keep meaning to read it, and I just haven't gotten around to it. So finally it said to me, you need to read me this Nonfiction November. And that is Shakespeare's Pub, A Barstool History of London as Seen Through the Windows of Its Oldest Pub, the George Inn, and again, by Pete Brown. So yeah, that one looks really good. I do love the cover on this one. I bought this from Book Depository. I think, like, the pages are starting to yellow, it looks like. I mean, I haven't had it that long. But they don't look really pristine, like, in comparison. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, regardless. It says, a stream of entertaining facts and stories, a companion for anyone interested in the history of the pub, by the Wall Street Journal. I am such a history buff that history is like my favorite form of nonfiction. So I am very, very much looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be a really delightful read. And I've read, like, I haven't read a lot of reviews on it, but I've seen it gets pretty good reviews on Goodreads. So yay on that one. Next up, the Julianne Lindsay books. So Nicole over at Who Picked This Book and Jen every week have been doing they do essentially a Wednesday live video where they read a book over the course of a week and then they talk about it on this Wednesday live. And over the last 3 months of this year, they are reading nothing but Julianne Lindsay books, which I am all for. And she writes for the Harlequin Intrigue line. So there are 3 books that are going to be read in November. They're taking off the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So there's only 3 books for November. And I am going to be reading all 3 of them because it's the first 3 books in the Fortress Defense series. And book number 4 comes out in November. So I'm hoping to read book 4 in either December or January. It might be pushed to January because if you guys know, yes, I read a lot of holiday books now, but I read nothing but holiday books in December. So there's really not a lot of wiggle room for other things. So it'll have to wait, but that's okay. That's okay, I'll get there. So the 3 books are, the first one is Deadly Cover-Up, of course, by Julianne Lindsay. Book number 1 in the Fortress Defense series. Book number 2 is Missing in the Mountains, I have a physical copy of it here. Again, Julianne Lindsay, book 2 in the Fortress Defense series. And then book number 3, Marine Protector by Julianne Lindsay. Book number 3 in the Fortress Defense series. And Gordon's just come in to say hello. So yes, I'm looking forward to reading all 3 of those. They're going to be a lot of fun. If I get time, because like I said, they're taking off the week between, like the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And I think American Thanksgiving falls like right at the end of the month. So I might actually sneak that last one in, the newest one in, and read all 4 of them in November, which would be super exciting too. Goran's just in here saying hello. There's his tail. And the second last thing I want to share with you. I actually have a few extra books I want to share with you. I said I wasn't going to share the extras, but I just, as I was filming this, remembered that there's another readathon or read-along that I am participating in November and December, so I'll share that with you in just a minute. But the last one I want to mention right now is the Book Sisters. So that is the book club that is hosted by myself, Chloe over at Always Booked, and Bree at Falling for Romance on Instagram. And we put the vote out for you guys to pick our November pick, and we went with a nonfiction book. So I am reading 4 nonfiction books in November. And I will be reading I Work at a Public Library, a collection of crazy stories from the stacks by Gina Sheridan. This is a shorter novel. It's available on Kindle Unlimited. Sounds really cute. I'm really, really excited about it. Sorry, guys. So the last 4 books that I want to share with you are part of a readathon or read-along that I am participating in over on Instagram. An Instagram person, bookstagrammer that I follow named Reads Romance. I'll leave link to her in the description box below. She is hosting a hashtag Meet the Bridgertons readathon that is starting actually on October 26th with the first book, The Duke and I, and will end, I think, the second week or third week in December. There's 8 books in total in the Bridgerton series by Julia Quinn, and the Netflix series has officially been announced. It will be on Netflix on December 25th. So there's this giant readathon going on, or read-along going on to read all the Bridgerton books before the book, or reread the Bridgerton books before the Netflix series comes out, depending if you've read them or rereading them. So I'm starting this week, the week that this video is going to go up. I will be reading The Duke and I, but it is 1 book a week. So there are 4 of them that are coming in November. So the first one, and I have these gorgeous UK editions that I picked up. One of them I picked up by chance at a local thrift store by me, and fell in love with them, and I'm like, I need the rest of the series in this set. So I did go out and buy them all in this edition. They're all from, like I said, Book Depository. So if you're interested yourself and you love this series and want this collection, check out over there. So the first one, so after The Duke and I comes book 2, which is The Viscount Who Loved Me. Look at that cover, isn't it delightful? Oh, I love it. And then comes book number 3, which is An Offer from a Gentleman. So book number 1 is Daphne's story. Book 2 is it Anthony? Anthony. Book 2 is Anthony. Book 3 is Benedict. Book 3 is Benedict's story, An Offer from a Gentleman. Book 4, I think, is pretty much everybody's favorite. It's Colin's story. Everybody loves Colin. I love Colin. Colin's my favorite. So this is Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. Yeah. Oh God, these covers are so pretty. And last but not least, for the month of November, the other ones, how many are going to be left after that? 3. 3 will be read in December. And then this one is Eloise. And it is To Sir Philip with Love. So yay. I'm so looking forward to these so much. I've been wanting to do a reread, and this is the perfect catalyst to do so. So yay, I'm very excited about getting to these in November as well. Anyway, guys, that is it for my TBR. I do hope that you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below. Are you participating also into the Fall Into Reading Challenge? How many do you have left to finish in November? Are you participating in Nonfiction November? I want to know what books you're reading for that as well. And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.